Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Yarns with Andy. Today I've got Richard White, General Manager of Kennards Hire. We're going to uncover the trends of the industry, the status of the current industry, and a lot more. So let's hear from Richard. Welcome, Rich.
Thank you very much. I hope so.
Yeah, you hope so?
Yeah.
What are you hoping for?
Well, that we get all of those things that you just said.
And more, mate.
Yeah, and more. Yeah.
And more. We're aiming for more, by the way.
Excellent.
Yeah, cool. Let's go. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, your history, how you came to the construction industry.
Sure. General Manager of Kennards Hire here in New Zealand. Was recently transitioned into that role. I held the New Zealand Sales Manager role for about 9 years.
Oh, cool.
So sort of had a bit of understanding of the market and stuff like that. Prior to that, I've done a lot of sales and sales leadership throughout the telco industry.
Yep.
So a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
Telco, did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, like the choruses and the...
more mobile. So
mobile.
Yeah, started off
cool.
with Telecom New Zealand and
nice.
through to
cool.
the Vodafones and stuff like that. So,
yeah. You know what? I was actually part of laying the UFB network around Auckland.
Oh, right. So actual rolling it.
Yeah, I did that for 4 years of my life. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was at 24 years old. They made me the project controls manager for that project. I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it out as I went.
Well, there's a big amount of work being done in getting those cables run out, right? So there was massive teams going out there. So
but I actually understood the value of data at that particular point in time in my life. God.
Yeah. So telco.
Sorry. Back
cut my teeth there with the sales and then sales leadership eventually.
Oh, cool.
And then that's what I came to do at Kennards, was run a sales team here in New Zealand. And then, recently, as I said, transitioned into the general manager role, which has got both ops and the sales and basically everything that you have to do for a business. So, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Sales.
Yes.
All the way through.
Yes.
So, you a big John Belfort fan?
A little bit, probably since the movie.
Yeah. Sell me this bed.
But it was more relationship based, and that's why I think the construction industry fit, because it is more of a relationship, but had to do the hard sells in telco as well. So
yeah, fair enough. That's my favorite movie, by the way.
Yeah,
one of
it's
my
a good
favorite
movie.
movies.
Yeah.
What a great movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, mate, let's dig into it.
Yep.
Right. Tell us from where you sit currently, where you see the current industry, the construction industry. How do you see it from your perspective?
Yeah, look, right now it feels like we're sort of gaining some momentum, albeit slow. So it bubbles along, and we've sort of felt some wins here and there. But at the moment, I think we're still waiting for that norming period where we're feeling comfortable. But it is a lot better than it's been 12 months ago. Feeling a bit of positivity, especially from our customers and larger projects that are happening. So
where's that feel coming from for you personally? Is it coming from the data you're seeing? Is it coming from what are you seeing out there? Give us specifics.
We have a lot of data in our business, so we have a lot of customer interaction data, contract count, calls coming into our business. So that's picking up, so I'm getting it from there. Revenue that's coming through, or just contracts and revenue that are coming through, is also stronger. So it's coming from there, but mainly where my main confidence is coming from is those conversations that we're having with our customers that are starting to win work, that are starting to plan for work. 12 months ago, they weren't sure when and how that work was going to come through. And so we're now seeing them starting to get specifics around equipment that they're wanting to hire, when they need it, not just sort of, hey, give me a price and we'll see if we win this job. So that's probably what's given me the most confidence, I suppose.
It's just having the feel and talk to all the people that are in the industry. Funny, I'm actually seeing the same thing.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not making it up then.
You're not making it up. I hope I'm not making it up either. Yeah. But we personally are seeing quite a few tenders come through the door as well.
Yeah.
Which is just what we want, which is what we need.
Yeah.
Which is what we need. The industry, mate, it's been not in a very good state in the last 2 years or so. We've been struggling, so I suppose everybody else has been struggling out there too.
Yeah, well, there's some companies that have been doing it really tough, and I think that's going to continue for a little while, because it's not going to filter right down to every corner of the industry, but eventually it will. But there'll be some customers that I think are going to still find a period of toughness. But I think the ones that are still around have created some contingency and some resilience in their business, I think. So that'll put them in good stead.
You know what they say about business, right? It's just about as long as you can stay alive. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Survive to 25 was a statement that came out last year, and I think now it's maybe whatever to 26. So
it started out with Thrive in 25.
Thrive, yeah.
And then it became Survive 25.
Yeah.
And then it became, I don't know what it became after that. I'm not even sure.
I think we all gave up and went, okay, just when it happens.
Whatever the fuck happens. Just so we can make it through this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm actually hoping for a really good year next year, to be honest.
Yeah.
You see with the Northern Corridor kicking off, they should start kicking off pretty soon. Mill Road's kicking off.
Yeah.
There's a couple of these big jobs kicking off. And but yeah, what throws a span on the works is the sale of Fletcher's, which will be interesting. But.
Yeah, and I think what probably people tend to sort of not realise is that when a project gets awarded, there's months of enabling, there's months of stuff that needs to happen before a hire has happened. So that's for us to understand. Even further along is where there's been pipes being laid and roads being built. So I think that's really what, we're getting some of these fast-tracked in, and Northern Express or Northern Corridor as a prime example, where they're going to award that in the next couple of months or before Christmas. But by the time you get boots on the ground, by the time you get actually work being done, it's some time between now and then. So you've got to really find something to work on prior to that, rather than going, great, it's done, let's start.
Do you know why that is? We've actually got some stats on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, so from paper to paper to spade in the ground.
Yeah.
In New Zealand, it's an extremely long time.
Really? Yeah. Makes sense.
In comparison to any other country, we take a lot longer to process our resource consents, our EPAs, our building consents, get through the design process, get through the reviews, the peer reviews, before we actually get spade in the ground.
Yeah.
Is much longer than, say, for instance, the UK.
Yeah.
Or even Australia. We're about 25 to 30% more in time than Australia would take.
Interesting. Yeah.
And I reckon, my personal opinion is that's predominantly because of our soil conditions and how we don't even understand our soil conditions.
Yeah.
Think about the UK. They've been building for thousands of years. How long have we been building for?
Yeah. So they know a hell of a lot more, don't they? They
have a lot more data.
Yeah.
And then when you think about it, we go, we're dealing with volcanic soil.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody else is dealing with the amount of volcanic soil that we are.
Yeah, certainly not as much.
Not as much, yeah. You dig like 100 mil down the ground, you go, whoa, we didn't know that was there.
Yeah. I think there's also the maturity in a lot of those industries as well, like around other countries. Look at hire, for instance. New Zealand and Australia are still trying to adopt this hire versus buy mentality, where you've got other countries that actually go hire first mentality. So they'll go, can I hire it? I'll try and hire it. Or anything of that nature, they'll try and use somebody else's capital to do it. So that's speed.
Okay, let's talk about that a bit more.
Yeah.
So hire versus buy.
Yeah.
So most construction companies, from a trend perspective, what are you seeing in New Zealand? People are hiring or buying?
It's certainly tailing towards hiring now, but it's been a long time. It has been seen in the past as a bit of a waste of money, like a necessary evil. Yeah. So they go, the money that we spend with you, we don't really want to spend, but we're doing it and we understand it. Where now they're actually getting us involved in the planning of the project and going, well, you guys buy it and we'll hire it, and then the utilisation for them of that money that they were going to use to buy it was potentially used somewhere else. So it's taking its time, but other places in the world, to my point, have got that, again, because of the maturity of their industry. They go, well, yeah, why would you buy it? Just hire it.
Well, I'm still thinking, why would I hire it? But I'm still working out. I don't know, my brain just went crazy there for a minute. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just work through that one scenario, if that's okay.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm a construction company. I want to, hire some gear. I'm trying to make some decisions here to go, I need X amount of diggers. I need a whatever, I need some trucks. Keep going, right? I need all of this equipment. I may or may not have the capital, but I'm happy to borrow the capital, but I'll be buying a depreciating asset. If I'm buying it, I'll be buying a depreciating asset.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And that's upfront capital that's completely locked away.
That's it.
Yep. And I don't have use of that capital for anything else right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But but then I'm not going to get all my tax benefit on that immediately as well.
Yeah.
I'll be pumping in my money, and that'll go into my depreciation asset, and I'm only going to get my tax benefits over the next 4 years or whatever. But if I hire it, I then get my tax benefits the minute I pay you.
Yes. Yeah. And you get to use that equipment straight away.
And I can get rid of it straight away when I don't want it.
Yes.
Send it back to you.
Yeah. And then there's maintenance that has to happen. So there's storage, is it the right piece of equipment for you at that particular time? So if you're starting a project, there are hard assets that a lot of project managers and projects will buy because it's there for the entirety, and it's, some of the site hacks that you might buy, like a tractor that's going to be there from day one to, when they finish up and they go, it's still there. They might buy something like that. But in general, they'll go, hey, I need a certain level of diggers or certain size of diggers. I'll need a certain, range of other equipment. They can use a certain size from us for a period of time. They go, actually, no, we need an 8-tonner or we need a 12-tonner. Swap it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very beneficial for a construction company. Just go, we got the wrong equipment.
Yeah.
I need a new one now.
Yeah. And I think across the board, it's flexibility. So it's flexibility to be able to use what you need to use when you need to use it, rather than going through, and some businesses might have a quite a speedy CapEx approval process, but generally when you're spending money, it's got to go through some pretty stringent sort of processes, which makes sense. So with a hiring decision, it's like, I'll go and get it. And then what we find a lot of our customers will do is they might hire it for a 6-month period and then go, actually, it makes sense to buy it. They'll come back to us and say, can we have a discussion around the rates? Can we have a discussion around the type, additions we need to this particular piece of machinery? And we'll work with them.
And you'll actually sell it to them?
No.
We
generally wouldn't sell it to them because it doesn't work for our model. But and that's not a no, by the way. It's just
let's have a conversation.
Yeah, have a conversation about extending the hire out. Mm-hmm. So we might say, hey, the longer the hire, you, instead of now needing it for 6 months, you're now saying 3 years. That changes our whole financial process around it. Yeah. And
you might give it to them at a more reasonable rate that they can afford to have it for.
Yeah. So it then comes up against the hire versus buy arrangement, and they can go, oh, makes sense. Because the buy one obviously does, over time, still on paper look good, right? Like it's cheaper per month if you're paying it off at 8% or whatever it may be.
Holy shit, 8%? Is that what the rates are?
No, just making that up.
Okay, cool. I was like, wait, don't scare me. I thought interest rates are going down, not up.
That might have been just a general rate I plucked out of my head, but whatever that may be, it would still be cheaper than a potential hire rate. But what hire has in it is maintenance, expertise, flexibility. You could have it on for 2 weeks and then come and get another item for another 6 weeks or whatever it is. So I think...
And the tax benefits that you pay
off your OPEX, totally. So, but I think project managers are now coming and saying, well, we can live with both. We can have some assets that we buy that we'll absolutely buy every time, but there'll be some higher parts of it that we'll use. And so I think, back to my point, it's around working together with both, rather than it was like, well, we buy everything, and then if we have to hire because we can't get our equipment in time, or we can't get the money in time, it's actually, well, we'll utilise both parts of that.
And you're kind of seeing that trend changing in New Zealand, which is pretty good, which is beneficial for the industry, the way I see it, just from what we worked at right now.
Yes.
I haven't thought about this before, by the way. I'm just working this to the top of my head right now.
Yeah, well, I've solved it for you, hopefully.
I'm semi-convinced. I'm a more of a buy than hire kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Even, you have these mobile phone plans. I'm just going, nah, I just want to go buy my mobile phone, spend the capital. That way I don't have to worry about operational expenses. And I know how much money comes in and how much money goes out.
Yep.
That'd be with the car, that'd be with my phone. Like you said, I'm probably stuck in the old Kiwi way of thinking still.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that bricks and mortar, sort of mentality that we have as New Zealanders, I think. And you've got, I don't know where it comes from, but we're always like, you own it. You don't buy it unless you can afford it, which there's some disciplines there that I think are important. But
I'm exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't afford it, don't buy it. You don't need it. Like, why do you need it? Just don't buy it. But again, if you want to talk about growth, you've got to make those key decisions that'll help you grow, then take those risks as well.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. If you've got I'll use drainage as an example. You've got a drainage company that comes in and the developer says, look, we're opening up another, part of the subdivision, for instance, and we want to know if you can do the drainage for us. That drainage business might turn around and say, well, yeah, we can do it. We've got the man, we've got that. But do they really want to extend all of their asset for that one job? Probably not. No. So they'll go, let's hire a certain amount of equipment to manage our, because that workflow may not be consistent. That might be something that stays for that particular subdivision and that's it.
Yeah.
So he can still take the the margin as long as his numbers are right, and he can utilise hire. And I think that's really where that's been done quicker, so the developer gets another subdivision open because he's got his drainage crews and he's got everyone else sorted, and hire has been a good part of that to help it happen. So.
Yeah, right. See, one other thing I'd think about, is I'd go, if I own the asset, I'd be able to actually liquidate it and cash up at some particular point in time, even with the depreciation.
Well, another way of looking at it, for sure.
100%. Yeah. I definitely think about it that way, and I just go, I kind of like owning it.
Yeah. Well, there's a proof part of it that you might, so a step back from that might be, I need to prove that it's going to happen and get my numbers ducked in a row, my numbers in a row, or just while you're waiting for CapEx to be approved. So we're not just for the long term. We might be a 6-week solution for somebody.
Or 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
The amount of time it takes the bank or you to free up some money from somewhere else.
Yes, exactly. No, it's just
yeah, really I'm turning into salesman now again. I can't get rid of it. I'm trying to sell to you now.
You don't need to sell to me, mate. We're just having a good, healthy debate, which I'm actually enjoying. You're getting me thinking, which I'm actually enjoying.
That's what's after. I'm after you.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so just touch on other trends that you've seen in this industry. Just take a step back. Just wider trends. Where do you think we'd be in the next 3 years?
I think
as an industry.
Yeah, as an industry, I think. I'm hoping, so this is two parts, that I'm hoping that there's some consistency. We've all been through probably the longest, slowest compression that I think a lot of us have experienced. And I'm not that old, but even talking to people that have sort of been in the industry quite a while, it's sort of been long and slow, which is really where the damage is done. So my hope is that there's in the next 3 years we get some consistency, and that comes from pipeline, that comes from planning, that comes from all those sorts of things. So from a high level,
a lot of that we don't have in New Zealand here.
No, that's right. Well, it hasn't traditionally.
And predominantly, we don't have vision, so hence we're actually stuck in this rut of going boom bust, boom bust, boom bust. Yeah. We have no consistency.
Yeah, that's right. So traditionally, that's the way it's been. So my hope would be that's something that can change, that we can get a bit of, at least for your core. I think major projects is one that you potentially can use as a bit of it's happening, it's not. Those ones really create a lot of friction or a lot of issues in the industry because they're a big piece of the puzzle. So from a high level, where the work's coming from, how the work's coming through, I hope that the next 3 years looks like that, and we're starting to see some sort of baked-in projects that are coming through. If we're talking about the way that the industry looks, I think, like I said before, I think we're going to look for efficiencies. Because of that long, slow drag, businesses have had to really sharpen up. So we've got owners coming in, and they're a lot more looking for smarter ways of doing things. They're looking at the people that they're hiring. They're looking at how can they do something for me that makes this more efficient. So
smarter, faster, better.
Owners getting out of the way at some stages and going, I've got a person that's come in to do this for me. And technology is going to play a part in that too, right? Like You've got automation, you've got AI, you've got all of these things that we don't have any answers for what it's actually going to do for us, but we've got an inkling. Yeah, you do. Yeah. I know what it does for me today, but
I know, but what it does for you today is probably not what it's going to look like in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing as well.
Yep.
I'll share a little bit of our story and our journey, what we've done in the last year and a half. And industry's been slow. We've been doing exactly the same thing. Turn around and go, how can we be smarter, faster, better, deliver these outputs with the assistance of AI really, really efficiently, accurately, quickly. So we've actually developed proprietary technology within strategic planning. This is what I'm talking about is nights me sitting and typing Python code, mate. It's been a lot of fun. Where we take a 3D model and generate an estimate a full estimate on day one.
That's pretty cool.
And that estimate is on a web page, and it's completely interactive with the 3D model.
Yeah, so the person can look at it and see how you've actually come up with it, and
whatever the designer's done.
Yeah.
All we do is we then get all the assets just perfectly aligned with like international standards on how you call the asset, because that's been the big problem in the industry, right? 3D models are not utilized in the industry because a concrete slab has been called as a decking structure, slab on grade, pour concrete, concrete. Like you just go all of these different terminologies, and depends on which designer you talk to. So we use AI to then convert all of that to international naming conventions, which is then standardization of assets. From that point in time, we built like multiple different data frames to generate all the qualities out of a model, which is then consistently labeled, location broken down perfectly. Because what do you really care about? Who does what, where, when, and how much of it?
Yeah.
Project managers dream, right?
Yeah, where it's all got, where it all has to happen. Yeah.
And then that's pretty much all we've done, and we get like crazy efficiency today just by doing that.
Yeah,
just insane. We're even talking to companies in Dubai to pick up technology right now, which is Dubai, London, everywhere else.
Yeah, huge.
New Zealand's needs a few more years to catch up, I think.
Yeah, like I say, I think that's where that sort of stuff is going to be AI technology. We're all going to know, like what you're talking about, some of those efficiencies that it can give us, because that's what it's got to come back to, is that it's all, and we've had technology in the past that's all been, hey, imagine this, it could do this and do this, but in reality it really never made us more productive, where I think we've got the opportunity here so in 3 years' time, I think, that's what it would look like. There'd be more of that involved, and we'd have more people that understand it and how to input that data into it better. So we're just at the beginning.
Oh, 100%. Not even at the beginning. God. Yeah, long way to go. I'm gonna sideline a little bit more. How are you guys adopting technology and AI within Kennards Hire?
At the moment, we're going through what it looks like for us and how we operate today. So, that what you're talking about there about speed and sort of things that you do as a business that can just be done faster. That's really and I think a lot of businesses are in the same boat as us. That's really where it sits for us at the moment. How it looks is really in that planning phase.
Are you investing in it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, you're investing in it. And with a clear goal to do what within Kennards Hire?
Look, that's a tough one for me to answer, but from my view, and that's sort of looking at how we can make our customers' job easier. So, and that's with our equipment. It's the way that we prepare our equipment. It's the way that we, are servicing our customers. So that market trends will be one thing that it tells us what we need to be investing in potentially. Our operating model, how can that get speedier and more efficient so that customers come in and get served better? How do they want to be served? So I really think that that's where it's going to come from, is being able to go, well, this is what you do today, Kennards, and this is how your customers are being dealt with in a branch or out on their sites. But in a couple of years' time, they're going to have quicker machinery on site, or we're going to be able to adapt to what they'll be doing a bit better. So,
I have a proposal for you.
Yes.
Can I sell you something?
Right now?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, go for it. Go for
it. Is there a better time?
No, go for it.
Want to grab a coffee later? I can do that too. We can talk about it now.
Yeah, we'll do a sales call for sure. I'll judge you at the end.
Oh, you judge me at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting proposal for you, right?
Yep.
About how we can collab to get better AI within Kennards. You want to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're on camera. It's cool.
Yeah. We might have to cut that after though.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
I see. These guys do a great job of cutting things out.
Certainly, what I like is the conversation, because nobody knows more. Like we're all learning on this thing together. So there's information that you guys have got that can help us. Absolutely.
So I was telling you about how we take a 3D model, quantify it, estimate it. What we've also done is we got a lot of shit from all the QSs that turned around and said, "Oh, you've got a 3D model. You've quantified the assets. Great job. Cool. Who's going to worry about the temporary works?" So, we went back and actually had a good long think about it. What we then did is we built data frames that are associated with the assets that we take off to identify plant, labor, material.
Right.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
There's a spark.
Yeah. If that sort of stuff can spin off that kind of information, then that's interesting.
That plant labor material. We do have challenges, though. Not going to say it's perfect. It's not perfect.
You're selling me a concept, then, no?
It is a concept.
That's cool. That's what it all is.
Oh wait, everything we're doing is literally. See, as strategic planning, I don't want to keep doing things the way we're doing things today. Right? That's not the game I'm in. I don't want to play that game. I want to go, fuck that. Where are we going to be in 10 years? Why can't we bring that timeline forward and deliver that next year and get the industry to adopt to that and fast track technology? Because construction industry is the slowest at adopting technology. Yeah. And that's a fact. It's a pure fact. We are the slowest in comparison to any other industry. Retail, banking, like, the whatever sector you look at us in comparison, fuck, we're still stuck in the Stone Age.
Yeah. Well, it's the time to do it now, though, isn't it? With AI and with this kind of conversation happening. So
prime opportunity. So coming back to it, right? If we can then take off the plant, the challenge we've got is we can then to say lift a steel beam. We've turned around and identified that you need lifting equipment, but we can't still get down to the detail and say, do you need a spider crane? Do you need a tower crane? Do you need a crawler crane? Yet, right? But like we haven't gotten down to that level of detail.
Yep.
But we've identified every bit of plant, every bit of labor, every bit of material required for any asset that goes into any building, and we've already built the data frame for it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool because I mean the human part of it would still be there, which is around like if it's a piece of a lifting equipment. I was just thinking, then that's where your human interaction would take over.
100%.
But you've still got it within a bandwidth of product.
Yes.
So it might be 5 different items that could do the job.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at access to the site. You're looking at users and all that kind of stuff. So we have people that can still go, hey, I understand from this data that you're going to need a lifting, telehandler or something like that.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I just want to double check access,
access requirements,
material.
Yep. Where your laydown areas are.
Yeah.
How you're going to move around site and all of that. But here's the beauty. All you need is a 3D model.
Yeah.
We then do the full takeoff. But here's the beauty. You won't just know the equipment, but you know the quantum of equipment associated with it. How powerful is that for you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. And how long it's going to be required for to do that job potentially?
Oh, not yet. Yeah, I know that's kind of my job. I mean, I'm a project planner. I'm a project control professional. That's what I do. Yeah. We haven't automated that yet. Yeah. Yet. But
still pretty good though. I'm not going to mark you down for that one.
Okay. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. So sales pitch, did I win? Or
yeah, you did pretty good actually.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So am I going to get a meeting with you later?
We'll definitely have a coffee. Yeah.
We'll definitely have a coffee. Yeah. Hey Lee, make sure you make a note of that, mate. He promised to have a coffee with me. Cool. But it's a really cool concept, I think.
Yeah, no, it is cool, and that's where it's going, right? Like that what you just said. Then there's multiple layers, multiple parts of a project. Multiple parts of this industry that technology and AI and those sorts of things can support and make us more efficient. It's about the operators, being part of that solution. So suppliers like us and contractors and all those kind of things. So.
We spoke about the future of the industry, the trends of the industry. Cool, great. I want to touch a little bit because you guys are really closely associated with the trades in the industry. What do you think New Zealand's relationship with its tradies are today?
I think it's genuinely improving. Like we're seeing it as a more of a pathway now. Like I remember coming through school, it was, you lined up there if you were getting D's and you'd just go in to do trades. I think it's not quite there yet, but I think there's more of a move to people coming through the industry that it's a genuine opportunity and a place to be able to have a career. So I think it's improving. What I think needs to sort of help assist that in growing is the pathways. So being able to show that you're not just going to stay on a hammer for, and you may, if that's where your ceiling is and that's all you want to do in trades, then, that's fine too, and people love doing that. But I think you get some real smart cookies in this industry that probably get a little bit sort of locked into an area because they can't see a pathway. They can't see that they can either own it or manage it or lead it, like be someone that actually changes the industry. So, I think it's getting better from that standpoint rather than just being you'll line up there if you're not doing well at school.
It's really interesting, right? I believe that they are the industry. They are the future of our industry. I'll tell you what, bold prediction here, right?
Yep.
10 years from today, I reckon the richest tradies are going to be, or richest people in construction, for a matter of fact, are going to be the electricians.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, electricians came to mind for some reason.
Yeah. Think about it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Facts behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the number of data centers we want to build.
Yeah.
Okay. The age of AI, you're replaceable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm replaceable. We're both replaceable. Who can you not replace?
The lines and the data that it goes through, yeah.
Yes. So you need to build more data centers.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you need the tradies to build the data centers.
Yeah.
The men on the ground. Yeah. AI is not going to replace that.
Mm.
And I'll tell you what, we don't have enough electricians to build data centers, mate.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
They're just going to go.
Yeah. Need for them is going to grow for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's just my bold prediction.
Yeah.
May or may not come true.
Data centers are a big part of the plan. You know, like we're seeing a lot more of those come through in terms of tendering and those kind of things. So you're right. We got all this data coming through. We just need to be able to house it and process it and distribute it. So
yeah. Okay. So if you had to give tradies some good advice, an 18-year-old right now, based on trends that you see and data that you see,
yeah,
what would you tell them? What advice would you give them? General Manager of Kennards, right here, giving you some critical piece of advice. What would that be?
Well, this is not just for tradies and construction people, but it links, right, is learn AI. So educate yourself on, and it'll change that quickly that whatever you learn this week will be changed in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So it's going to be a ever-evolving thing. But I think youth, an 18-year-old that gets their head around that, no matter what their discipline's going to be, whether it be electricians or builders or whatever. So if you put it into the construction industry now, they understand that, they know it, they're going to be able to learn quicker, so they're going to be able to get information quicker. They're probably going to get a pathway to a trade cert of some description quicker.
Make decisions quicker.
So AI is the first part. And then I think with that, and that with that same sort of thought, is that they don't just stop at becoming a tradesman. They don't just stop at becoming a site foreman or anything like that. That they can actually use what they're learning and, like I said before, lead, be someone that can change the industry. And there's plenty of parts to it with technology now coming through. You're going to be able to do so much more than just nail a nail on a piece of wood, which is, I think, what we still traditionally think, that it's a hard job. Well, it's going to be hard. There are hard parts to being in the trades, but if you can get yourself into a situation where you're actually leading the charge and changing it, then I think the world's their oyster.
But here's the beauty as well, right? You can cross-train and you can do that yourself just using ChatGPT.
Yeah. You could do all four. And, I mean, I haven't heard of it, but it's probably been done. But it's actually more likely to be done that someone goes, I'll be a plumber, electrician, whatever, at least understand all of those disciplines and then manage a business that has all of those encompassed in it, potentially. So I think that's where to your point, there's probably going to be some money to be made. Well, there will be. But an 18-year-old, yeah, I think so. Yeah. We've got customers doing that, and so, but that 18-year-old can really change it.
For sure. I'll give you a prime example, right? So what I did with strategic planning was we looked at how we did our tender process, right? Got the team together and we mapped out what our process would be, right? No AI involved, nothing. Just map out what the flow of information is all the way through. Then what we started doing is we started injecting AI into that process, and we started going, that part of the process, we're going to enhance this, or we're going to fast track it by using AI, or enhance the delivery output of it using AI to make it much better to feed into the next section.
Yep.
What that's done is just fucking magical for us.
I bet. Because those other ones are sped up because they've got a lot of the data crossing across, or you've progressed it a lot further in the earlier stages potentially. I
don't think. Yeah, okay, I'm not bossing you, but I don't think anybody in the industry can put forward a non-price tender pack to the quality and the speed we put it at.
Yeah.
In today's market. And thank you, AI, and thank you just stepping through that process and understanding what we can do where to pass information between systems to then what we call the human in the loop check.
Yeah. That's making sure that they're still humanizing it and delivering it. And
not just humanizing it, validating and verifying what AI has produced. It's really, really important what we do. Right? It's everything has got to go. I don't trust you, AI. There's a human in the loop check that we're going to cross-reference this. Make sure that AI is not hallucinating a
Yeah.
bucket or a car cover shit. But yeah. So it's magical, mate. Like, I'm right there with you, by the way. Yeah.
And I reckon that's the thing, right? To my point, that if you understand it and educate yourself on it, you're going to be able to follow where there is efficiencies or where there's opportunities for growth. It's not going to take everyone's job, but the person that's educated on it probably will. So, that guy that actually educates himself and understands AI could take your job, but I don't think AI will take the whole thing.
Yeah. Funny, they said that about calculators, right? They said our children are not going to know how to do math and do trigonometry and do all of these sorts of things. And here I am. I'm an engineer. Then the computers came and they said, "Oh, you know what? The computers are going to take over our jobs, mate." Well, true fact. We actually work harder than we ever have in history today.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Which is like insane.
Yeah.
Like it's just created new problems and created new jobs.
Yeah.
That's all the computer's done.
Yeah, more access to work.
Yep.
More access to output. So you got phone, computer, which are compared to AI pretty basic tools, right? But
and then what do you think AI is going to do? Probably the same thing. Create jobs that we don't know exist.
Unless we put into it that how do I make my work-life balance a bit better, and by doing all these other projects, then it'll probably say you can't.
Yeah. Funny, we've actually stopped asking our children what you want to be when you grow up. Because I don't think we know the answer to that. They know the answer to that. Nobody knows the answer to that.
Yeah.
We're training them for jobs that don't exist in today's market. I strongly believe that.
Yeah, totally agree.
No point in turning around telling them, "Hey, buddy, do you want to be a pilot? Do you want to be a doctor?" Why force them into something? Just leave the door open. There's options are going to be insane.
Yeah, understand everything.
Yeah. Like prompt engineering wasn't a job 2 years ago.
No.
Today it's a real job, eh?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, cool. That's some great advice to the trades, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. I want to now just kind of move into the Kennards Hire Foundation.
Sure.
So what is the Kennards Hire Foundation? What do you guys do with the foundation?
The foundation is a set up on the side of Kennards Hire, so it's a foundation with philanthropic activities, generally about uplifting communities. So disadvantaged youth, disengaged youth, maybe off the rails or just, like I say, disengaged from the system. We support charities that are doing work in that space already.
Oh, cool.
So,
really cool.
We've got charities that we work with here in New Zealand that are already doing really good work. So the foundation, get in behind that and do work with them, support them.
Do you want to shout out a few charities that you work with?
Yeah, Kids Can. We work with Kids Can. Yeah,
really
so
cool.
that one always brings a really good smile to our faces, even though it and like Kids Can say, they shouldn't really exist, and ideally the win is that they don't exist. But Kids Can's work in the communities, especially over the last few years, is doubled. Just assuming, but hearing stories that their need is actually more now. So we support them with a lot of the work that they do in the community.
Really cool.
And Springboard Trust is another one that's in North Auckland, and they support more of that disengaged youth that have fallen out of a school system or a work system, and helping them get back on that path. So it's a group of mentors, teachers, all those kind of things. So Kennards Hire's role in that is just to support whatever the foundation's goals are, and we've got in a basic way, we've got machinery and equipment that can help them with some of the stuff that they do.
With training? What sort of support are we talking about here? If you had to get specific into the sort of support providing from Kennards Hire.
Yeah, so with Springboard, it's generally around that work, school leaver, getting into work. So we've got a organisation that skills people up to work with them. So there's parts of that we will, try and identify people within that area. We support them from just a general what they're actually doing. So, getting people back on. Funding obviously is key, which is through the foundation. And then with Kids Can, we've got a really cool initiative which is called the Buddies Program, School Buddies Program. Yep. So one of our branches is buddied up with a school in a low decile area that is requiring support, and that school needs work done, right? Maintenance, work bees, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So you'll have a caretaker go, hey, I'd really like to get this playground back up and running for our kids. Funding's been a bit tough, or we just had to put it in other areas, and we'd get the gear to get in and do that. So
good on you guys.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And then lots of other things that kids can do around gumboots and jackets. We generally try and be a part of those sort of days where they're bringing those in from other sources, but it's really cool to be a part of it. So.
Hey, yeah, that's commendable work, eh? Well done.
Yeah, well, look, I just support it, but the foundation does a really good amount of work across Australia and New Zealand. But we're really proud of the work that they do here in New Zealand, and happy to be a part of it when the support's on.
So are there any other like cool stories like just the one you told me? Is there another one that you want to share? I actually enjoy listening to that story. By the way.
Yeah, that's cool. No, just recently actually we got to go to the Springboard Trust dinner, which is where they raise money for the for the trust, and there was within the night there was the team members and students that are part of the Springboard Trust working on the day, so they're serving food. Doing all that sort of stuff, and they asked me to speak. So during the night, I knew I was going to have to do a speech, all prepared everything. But when we turned up for the night, a young girl stood up with the microphone, and she's been in the program for a couple of years, and she was like the MC. So she started talking and blah blah blah, and then one of the learning support people or supporters came up and came on stage and said, if you'd asked me 2 years ago that this person would have been able to speak in front of, call it 100 people, 120 people, she couldn't even get into school. So she couldn't even get in here. We were only doing a day a week just to see if she could get in front of people. So this is 2 people. And so I instantly felt confident.
I've just got chicken skin listening to that story.
Because, even speaking in front of groups, we all get... There's a nerve, right? There's a nerve there.
Man, tell me, I show myself every time I have to come on camera. It's scary.
Yeah, that's right. So we're all in the same boat. But as soon as I saw her do that, all I heard, because you sort of got a feeling that she was somebody that from the group. But she was confident. I'm sure she was like all of us, nervous inside. But I instantly felt confident that I could do it too. So I couldn't wait to get up there, and when I say couldn't wait to get up there, when I got up there, I actually thanked her for making my night a little bit easier.
Good idea.
And so that story alone supports why we do it. It's that you can have people like that being now in the community, ready to go out, and there's lots of things that she's done on her own that are helping her become employable. But that part there was probably where it'll serve her the best, I think.
And you guys laid the foundation for that. Good on you.
Well, we support the trust that do that work,
Yes, that's right. Sorry, you support the trust. No.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from them, but...
No, of course not. Sorry, my bad. I should use better words.
That's right. Yeah, generally really, really proud of being part of it. It's humbling, it's, business. And I just think that it's a great thing for Kennards Hire to have the foundation to be able to give people like me those feelings, right? Like, and again, wish that we didn't have to, but... there's always going to be people that needs additional support. And that was one of the things that I've been able to engage with Springboard on, is that we've all had different pathways. We've all, I'm not sitting here as a general manager taking the, normal pathway that everyone else did. So encouraged to see that there's groups out there that can mentor kids, and and they can also hear from me that you don't have to go straight line. You don't have to be best student in your class, university, management role. It doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, not at all. Like, seriously though, I'll put an offer out to you if there's any way we can support the good work that you guys are doing. Happy to collab and work something out.
Cool, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. It's whether it's mentoring, whether it's even just going and giving a lecture about AI, which I'm really passionate about, digitalization.
I've picked that up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been the last 2 years of my life. A lot of late nights, a lot of, it's been fun. But whatever it is, I'm really happy to support that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Find a way to collab. Just keep us in mind and give us a call.
Yeah,
my number, one phone call away, mate.
Yeah,
simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Rich. Now.
Yes.
What makes you tick? Outside work. I don't want to talk about construction anymore. We're done. We're done.
Oh, good. We've solved that then. No, I don't think so.
No, mate, not even close to solving it.
Hopefully we're a bit more understanding. So look, family. I've got 3 children, 17, 15 and 11. So
oh, wow.
through the busy part of it, but it only just starts now with,
teenagers.
Yeah. One of them going off.
Are they difficult to manage, teenagers? I don't have any yet, but I will in another 6 years.
No, it's different.
Yeah.
Like, it's different. When they're toddlers, there's a lot more hands-on stuff you've got to do, so it's a little bit more in the trenches. And I often have a bit of a giggle when you see a young family with, 3 under 7 or whatever running around a resort or through a mall, and you sort of look at it and go, man, you're in the trenches, because I've been there.
Yeah.
And you generally are in the trenches, but you wouldn't have it any other way. Like, it's a fun time of life. Teenagers is a little bit different. There's not as much hands-on, but you're sort of there a bit more emotionally, I suppose. You're there a bit more verbally. And one of the things I think I've learned is trying to figure out making your words mean more. Like, you can talk a lot, right? But with teenagers, you've got a window. You've got a small little window that you have to make sure you make your point. And so I think as a parent, crafting that and figuring out how that works. So
that's actually good advice. Yeah.
It's teenagers, yeah. And yeah, so that's what family, and sort of from a passion project point of view, I mentor sport, like rugby league players.
Oh yeah, cool.
So I've been doing that for about 14 years, and my passion generally, and that's how I've come through my career, as well as mentoring people. I want to grow people. I want them to, be as good as they can be. So it aligns really well with a young person coming through the sporting industry and rugby league in particular, and wanting somebody that can sit with them and be in their corner, and that early stages is just generally about that mentoring. So you're sitting with them and you're just being someone that can support them through it. Because if you're get to an elite level, there's not a lot of people around you that are of similar. So you can't ask your friend, what you should do and
what you shouldn't do, and
yeah. And parents
how to talk to the media and how not to talk to the media.
Yeah,
the other stresses.
Lots of things that come in, right?
Winning, losing.
Yeah. It's tough, injuries, those kind of things. So to have someone in the corner that's mentoring them is one of the things that I really enjoy doing. And then,
how'd you get into that space?
I was in Australia at the time. So I lived in Australia for almost 3 years, 2.5, 3 years, and in Telco. So I was with Vodafone Australia, or one of their business sort of distribution organisations. And I'd always been into rugby league. So rugby league, something I've watched since I was probably 8 or something like that. And Winfield Cup it was back in those days. So when you go to Sydney, it's like probably going to England for football. Sydney's rugby league,
Yeah.
And your paper's full of rugby league. So there was a couple of guys coming over for trials through family friends of ours that were coming just for an open trial. So they'd flown over to Sydney, and this trial was it. And I sort of said to them, look, what are you here for? And he goes, I don't know, I'm just here for this trial, and then I've just got to find a place to stay. And so I thought then there's probably a better way of supporting Kiwis come through and trialling for clubs. And he didn't really know a lot. And that's nobody's fault. It was just someone's given him a ticket, and you take it, right? And you come and trial for the Roosters or whoever it is. So one of the things I picked up through that process was that there's got to be more information.
Yeah,
the players and their families have got to be more informed about what possibly can happen here, and the unlikeliness of it probably happening. It's very tough. It's it's a small percentage of players that make it. Where if they're heading over there with the bags packed and the NRL dreams only a week away, I really want to make sure that person's aware that that's not the case. Really, it might happen if you just hit the ground and go, but most of the time there's a long slog, and that person needs somebody to direct them through that. Families is just as much. So mum and dad need to understand that their young child's going over there for a dream, and no one's going to hold them back. Obviously, no parent would. But having somebody in their corner that explains everything to them, I think, was really where I locked into. And so I went about getting accredited just because you needed to be to advise. So the NRL required you to have an accreditation so that you could be out there advising these young players. And it just grew from there. It's sort of something that, again, I really leave as a passion part of what I do. I wouldn't probably never stop doing it.
Yeah.
It's something that you can really just keep on the side and keep your mentoring, I suppose. But yeah, I enjoy that part. I'm inherently wanting to mentor people and
really cool.
and see people get to where they want to go. And you have some highs, you have some amazing highs where players get to live out their dreams. And I was one of those kids that thought at one stage I could play professionally. Now I know that was never going to happen, just from what I've learned.
Yeah, right.
Which is fine. I come to terms with that. But being able to...
But it's a learning curve. Now you got all of that knowledge now.
Yeah.
You know, that you can then pass on to the younger generation.
Absolutely, yeah. So I use all of that. I use all that learning and want and desire, because I can see that in young kids' eyes, and I can see that he wants it. But I've then got to make a decision, and from what I'm gathering and learning from this particular player, what's achievable.
Yeah.
And for some players, I use a ceiling analogy, which is we'll get you to the very top of where you could get to. And that may be a top youth player in the country. And that's not a bad thing to have on your resume, that I was one of the best players coming through. It might be one of the best school-age players in the first 15 or whatever it may be. Or it's the best player in the world. There's that opportunity there. We've had some experiences where we've been able to live out dreams with players and their families, and I think there's just nothing, replaces that feeling. It's an amazing thing to be part of.
Yeah.
But heroing them as it's their journey, but and I'd rather not be seen, and just that player knows who I am.
Yeah.
That's the real win for me.
Yeah.
Is that there's this guy that helps them, and he's just not in the media, or he's not at the front of the stage saying that he's my player. It's actually
supporting from the back completely. Yeah,
because that's what it's about.
So if young budding players,
yes,
or their parents want to get in touch with you for help, how would they reach you?
Website. So we've got inventus.co.nz, which is a website, or Instagram probably is easier nowadays.
Cool. Yeah. We'll grab some links off you, and we'll try and put in the links below. Is that what you do? Is that what creators do? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Well, mate, no, it's a really, really cool passion project, eh?
Yes.
It's probably one of the coolest passion projects I've heard on the show in about 85 episodes. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad to take that.
Yeah. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, Rich, this has been a really, really interesting chat. We're going to get kicked out of here pretty soon.
Okay. Yeah. We've said enough.
We've said enough, you reckon?
No, I'm just saying maybe we have.
Maybe we have. Yeah, probably have. Yeah. But I really enjoyed the chat. This is incredible. I got a lot more than I bargained for today.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I really enjoyed it as well. And hope the listeners do too.
And hopefully we find ways to collaborate. Many more ways than one.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Andy.